Uh, oh my gosh, everyone, it happened. I clocked out for my last day of work just about an hour ago. The flight's tomorrow, and it is celebration week, everyone. I'm so excited to see you all tonight. I'm excited to see a lot of you in person in a couple days. Tonight, we are going through the last bits of info you need for this week's Star Wars Celebration. Whether you're at home, whether you are at the convention center, what are the panels you want to look out for, what are the good publishing exclusives, all that. I'm here with a couple of fine fellas. Some folks are already in California, some folks are at home, but all that matters is that we're all here to talk some Star Wars. Wes, for the last time before Star Wars Celebration, punch it. Hello, everyone! Welcome to the Living Force, a Utini Network podcast all about Star Wars Celebration. After all this time, we are finally in the week of Star Wars Celebration and a little indie project called Obi-Wan Kenobi. Ever heard of it? I'm one of your hosts, Eric Eilerson, and joining me tonight to get you all ready for the biggest moment of the year in the Star Wars community are two fine fellas, starting off with the man who pushes all my buttons in the best ways. It's Wes Jenkins. What's up, buddy?
Oh my God. Hello, y'all. I am tired, but I am excited that I get to see everybody, first of all, in a couple days. But, man, I haven't packed yet, like, whatsoever. I was telling Tim that big reveal, that's the next guy. That only thing I packed was the dog food that I'm taking over to the border tomorrow for Doc so he can, eat twice a day. But I haven't done anything. And last time I did this, when we went to where did we go?
Asheville,
Jesus.
there you go.
I didn't pack until 11 p.m. and then I ended up not going to sleep. So right after this, I have to start packing. So wish me luck.
Wes, we could not be the same person right now because I also have only packed up Morton's dog food today for that. Because after the show, look at this, I'm packing my American Traveler big boy.
Oh, the big
R2
one.
suitcase.
Beautiful.
So
Nice.
if anyone's at the Santa Ana airport tomorrow evening, looking for this guy, that's me.
There's gonna be nothing but those suitcases. You're gonna be like, damn it, which one is mine?
Dude, these are the best wheels on any suitcase I've ever had in my entire life. This is not a sponsored ad, but the American Traveler R2-D2 suitcase is the best thing that's ever happened to me, other than our final guest, Timothy Guthrie. Welcome, man.
What is up? Listen, I have packed, but because anxiety is a thing, I'm probably going to repack 2 more times tonight.
Okay.
The cat has his chaperones lined up. The floors have been mopped. Y'all, I am like feeling it. I am so ready.
Wow, that is
bring it on.
Very real vacation prep. It's really the pets, right? Like we all agree.
Yeah.
The pets got to take care of first. We also had our cat sitter because we have Morton's going to a border, and then the cat sitters are coming to our house to deal with the 2 cats. They got introduced, did that whole socialization thing, and they are ready to go. But yes, we are flying out. We're without the 2 docs tonight. Unfortunately, Dr. Charles Hankel is busy saving no less than 28 lives simultaneously. Work got in the way. And Dr. Corey Helton's already in California. He and Kate flew out a little early. They're warming it up for us. Literally, it's a little chilly. So I've heard, but we're so excited to go out there and see them. A couple things before we get into our Star Wars Celebration kind of breakdown for each of the days. I want to give a shout out to Out of Print, the company that we like to spend a lot of money at, because the exclusive edition of Thrawn Ascendancy, Lesser Evil, remember that book from last year? It finally dropped, and it came to my house this week, guys.
Ooh.
Look at this My Chemical Thrawn Mance book. Look at this
So
sad
gorgeous.
sack guy. Yes, sold out in 4 minutes. I know a lot of folks in our Discord were able to get it. Thanks to all of you for being such a great community and tagging folks when the links went live. I know these have been hard to get over the last few years, and I do now have a full set. I'm very happy about it. And I know a lot of folks will be able to finally get these. They got like the nice pages, design autographs, art.
Is that
I love
thing
exclusive books.
coming out of the cellophane, Eric?
Not yet. Because I'll tell you what, people have been selling these for a small mortgage payment. I'm not a bookseller. I am a human, though, and I'll tell you what. I'm going to be straight with you guys. I buy my books to keep them, but if someone will pay me over $4,000 for 3 books that I spent less than $800 on, I got to do it. I have rent.
Sure.
So
Absolutely.
not now, but if I don't get $4,000, I'll take it out. You know me. We also want to give a shout out to Mike Chen, a writer of Brotherhood, because that book starring Obi-Wan Kenobi and Anakin Skywalker, our reviews are currently out on utini.com and our YouTube channel. Of course, check those out. That debuted at number 11 on the New York Times bestseller list, which continues the run of Star Wars books just do that now. I just love that happens now, you know? It's amazing, though. It's a great book. We all really liked it. Of course, Roundtable coming later next month. But yeah, congratulations. It's not just the High Republic, folks. Other Star Wars books debut as long as we buy them. Make sure to get all those pre-orders in to keep the love going. And finally, we want to give a huge personal thank you to our community for supporting us in Kenobi Week last week. We all took parts in various shows. We did, of course, the Living Force show. Tim, you were on Cosmic Force, where you guys talked about the journals of Obi-Wan Kenobi. Wes, you had a game night experience, truly. If you guys didn't watch the game night last week where Wes detailed his journey of making Obi-Wan work, and there was triumph, and then there was less triumph as the stream went on. But it was so fun, and guys, I'm especially massive shout out to our friends at Legends Look Back.
Oh yeah.
Who not only did a roundtable on the book Kenobi, but interviewed the man behind the magic, John Jackson Miller. They had a special surprise interview dropped.
They were the MVPs of the week, hands down, because they did a roundtable of the book in one day. So, and then they interviewed John Jackson Miller, who wrote the book. But like that whole same week, and Jared was the one that set this whole thing up for everybody. I mean,
incredible.
Way to go, guys! It was astounding. It was fluid too. There weren't any problems. We had something out for 5-6 days the entire week. So I think it was a success. So Jared, you can start doing all of these now. And we've given you the reins.
Yes, I am at least buying the man 3 beers when we're in California. So
not gonna be able to stand with all the gratitude we got to give him. That's for sure. And of course, thanks to our friends at Star Wars Archives, who dropped an incredible episode over the weekend for our Patreon community about Old Ben. And a couple of us bozos got together and did a special Bounty Hunt episode, which is available on the Bounty Hunt podcast stream. We did not get the video on the channel, but you can listen to that in audio. If you look wherever you're listening to this podcast, on Spotify, on Apple Podcasts, look up Bounty Hunt, which is our show where we talk about the shows, Mandalorian and Clone Wars. And we got together and gave our final thoughts about the Kenobi show, previewing it before the episodes drop on Check's Watch Friday. Guys, it's this week. So thank you all for all your support on that. And we're going to do a lot of those in the future. And speaking of support, we got to give a big thank you to our Patreon crowd. Thank you so much to all of you who have facilitated everything we're able to do here at Utini and are going to see the fruits of your labor this week at the Anaheim Convention Center. Our booth setup is possible because of all of you. The things on our panel that we've been able to put together, the time and the tools are all because of you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you endlessly for all of that. We hope that the content that we're able to create out of all this is going to make you happy and make you excited. And if there's anything I know about Celebration, when we all get back, we are going to be full of excitement and energy to create more stuff. I mean, this podcast was born out of Chicago Celebration. Corey went to that show and was like, we need to make something like this. None of us had done this before. None of the other of us went there. And we decided the Living Force had to be born, and that created the entire podcast network. So who knows what comes out of this? But thank you to our patrons for making all of that possible. If you want to join the family, head over to patreon.com/Utini. And I can now say on air, once we are back from Celebration, we will officially be bringing back the Ghost crew that has been on hiatus for a few months. There was some crazy life things, some of which you heard on the show, some of which you did not. We are good. Charlie is good. I am good. Charlie will also be at Celebration if y'all want to see the face behind the magical voice and insight on that show. But we will be bringing that show back to our Patreon post-Celebration. Very excited about that. All right. One little piece of news we need to talk about, but let's do the drop anyway. It's the Star Wars Weekly Roundup.
It's the Star Wars Weekly Roundup.
Always gotta do a little jig. It's just fun. It's a fun little drop. All right, folks. You ever have a week that feels like a year? Well, that's been this week because if you remember, since our last show, we did get a reveal in the publishing world, and this was an excerpt from Adam Christopher's upcoming novel, Shadow of the Sith. And Wes, this is a particularly good excerpt for you. I know you didn't read the whole thing. You stay away from excerpts a bit, but you couldn't escape the headline. We finally got the name of Rey's parents. It's kind of big.
It's very big because we were wanting to first of all know who Rey's parents were, and we got that revealed. We didn't get the names, and I haven't read it yet because I wanted to keep it a secret. But I remember, Eric, that you said, "Hey, small little spoiler in this thread here," and I was like, "I'm gonna click on it." And I was like, "Oh, they gave us Rey's name," so that's super cool that they at least gave an excerpt. I mean, that's going to you're going to get a ton of clicks, I'm sure. I mean, that USA Today article is probably smoking right now with all the clicks that it's gotten. But awesome reveal.
Yeah, we got Dathan and Miramir, which I like. I do believe Dathan was named after Nathan on our team. That's pretty cool.
Confirmed.
You know, that's pretty good. But yeah, if you haven't checked it out yet, the article's up on USA Today. Guys, Adam Christopher's writing style is awesome. Like, I really love this. I know, Tim, you've been raving about these excerpts ever since you read them with the way that I can't even put my finger on why I love it so much, but it just really flies as you read it.
Yeah, this is the third excerpt I think that is dropped. And I don't even know how to put it into words, how good it is. Just the way that he writes, like tension and love. I mean, it's so vastly different, but it all works so well. And you can tell he's really put his heart and soul into it. So I'm really excited to get my hands on it.
Yeah, it's very exciting. Review copies did go out. If you're on Twitter, you saw some folks seeing them. I did receive one for Utini Living Force. I'm about 20% of the way through, and I am fully embargoed. So I'll just say very organically, pre-order links are available at utini.com and our new release schedule. And if I were you, I would pre-order Shadow of the Sith right away. That link is there. It comes out June 28th. We have a little bit of time in Star Wars publishing, right? Like a little bit of time is a month and a half where we're like, oh man, whoo, what a break. Charles gets to just relax for a while and not do roundtable prompts, but it's gonna come up before we know it. And of course, that and Padawan by Kirsten White, the young Obi-Wan book, which has some uncorrected proofs like in the wild. In some places, some people have already read this book, and apparently there might be like some High Republic ties in it. I don't know for sure, but you're going to want to pre-order that, and that's coming out July 26th. And kind of under the radar, we haven't talked about it much, but The Stories of Light and Dark, the new anthology, with art by our buddy Jake Bartok, which has an exclusive cover we're going to talk about a little later, is also coming out extraordinarily soon. So all these books, you want them on your shelf, head over to the release schedule, get those pre-orders in, and just buy more Star Wars books. We know why you're here. You know why we're here. Let's not pretend. All right? It's all coming up very soon. Post-Celebration, you're going to want to dive right back into the novels. But speaking of Celebration, let's talk about it. As of recording, Star Wars Celebration is only 3 days away. It starts on... Woo! Saying it out loud makes it way more real. So Thursday the 26th starts Star Wars Celebration. And fellas, all three of us are going to be there. Now, I will be there all 4 days. How many days are each of you fellas going to be there?
I will be there for the official celebration for 3 days, for Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. I'm flying out Sunday. But I will arrive tomorrow at 11 a.m. So I will be there early.
Awesome.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very nice. Yeah, we fly in tomorrow night. And then I think we're doing Disney on Wednesday. We're doing every day of celebration. And then we're actually hanging out in California for an extra week doing some national park stuff. So
Nice.
That's great.
I'm convinced we're just going to stay there. That's what's going to happen.
I love it because there's always that con depression that hits. So I've heard like the week afterwards. So to fight that depression, you'll just be in the natural beauty of California for a week.
Mm-hmm.
That's a great idea. Or the depression will be twice as bad the week after that.
I'm not looking forward to returning to work.
Great.
The
It'll be one of
horrible
those.
weather in
I'm
Anaheim.
going to be
that
so
you have to deal
tired.
with.
Yep.
That'll be rough. I as well will be flying out tomorrow night on Tuesday evening. I will be at Disneyland as well on Wednesday. I know a lot of folks are going to be there. If you're watching us on Monday or listening to us or watching us before then, please come up on Wednesday, say hi. I think Charlie and I are going to double wear Tano merch. I'm not sure, but one of my goals is like to put up a picture of what I'm wearing each day because obviously the white glasses will help. Come say hey. We'd love to see you, and we're in the happiest place on earth. But then, of course, we get the full con experience. And what we're going to do on tonight's show is we're going to go day by day and remind y'all of the main panels that are happening and then the publishing exclusive stuff, the stuff that we love, the comics, the books, to make sure you don't miss anything. But before that, we got to talk about the stuff we're going to buy. Because, guys, I thought I was out of the woods. I was like, we're good. We have not heard about an exclusive cover. I'm going to save $50. Oh my gosh. So good. My wallet is safe. And then something happened. And Wes, I know we have pictures of this, but guys, what happened? What did Del Rey do to us?
Well, they gave us an exclusive convention cover. And you're like, oh, I mean, how good can it be, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's a picture of none other than Obi-Wan.
Look at this! Stories of the Jedi and Sith, as we said
So
before,
good.
by Jake Bartok, a loved artist of our show and community. I was gonna get this book anyway, but now I'm gonna get 2 copies of the same book because there's a Vader and there's an Obi-Wan, and look at that striking gaze.
Mm-hmm.
It's beautiful.
Oh man, that's gonna be such a good cover.
Yeah, I cannot wait to get my hands on that.
A lovely exclusive. And of course, there's a bunch of authors on there, including friends of the show we've talked to, like Delilah S. Dawson, Michael Morisi's on there, Alex Segura's on there, and all kinds of great folks. This is going to be on sale exclusively at the Celebration store. So not at the Del Rey booth, not at any book booth, at the Celebration store for $17.99. So for folks that may have been to previous celebrations, you're going to have to either race there first thing in the morning, or you're going to have to get a lightning lane in the app to sign up for a shopping time. So that's how you get that one. That's our first published exclusive. And then I was like, I'm done. Great. Excellent. And they said, oh, no. No. Because we're not getting one more. We're not getting 2 more. Y'all, we're getting 3 more exclusives. It's a 3-pack. But we're getting a 3-pack of the High Republic adult novels, and they're in faux leather wraps with Arabesh.
Arabesh.
What?
Dude, I am such a sucker for Arabesh.
It's
Like,
not
'cause-
just good. It is impossibly good.
Like nobody knows what it is, so it's secret, and it's just like, wow, what is that? Like, if you don't know, then I'm not gonna tell you.
The Sacred Jedi Text!
Yes, that's what they are. I mean, that's
Yeah.
what they totally mimic.
It is astonishing. Like, we're putting these pictures on the screen for all of our audio listeners. It's Light of the Jedi, the Rising Storm, and the Fallen Star. They each have their own unique binding with the different symbols of the initiative, the Nile symbol, the Jedi symbol, and I believe that's the third symbol. I think is more like the High Republic as a whole. I can't quite tell in the photos. But they're gorgeous on the outside. They are awesome engraved. But then there's even more, because we got more pictures that got posted by our friend Tom at Del Rey and other folks like that. The title pages have the artwork from the out-of-print covers laid within the words Star Wars, which is just genius
Oh,
because
that's
you know how
great.
much we love those out of print
Mhm.
covers. That's beautiful on all of them. And of course, there's even more stuff within those. They're all signed.
They're
So here we see
all autographed.
all of them.
See, that's what gets me. I love autographs. Exclusive
Yes.
autographs? Sign me
Well,
up.
only by the authors at least. So each
Right.
book is only like Claudia Gray signed Fallen Star, Charles Soule did Light of the Jedi. Of course, if you want them to be signed by other folks, we're going to tell you how in just a bit.
I didn't think Logan Greatstorm had signed it. Because if he did,
I-
that's an exclusive. You can't get that because he's no longer around.
Oh my goodness, there it is. Yeah, there's only one of those.
Some sprinkled dust. Sorry.
So sad.
Oh, I just went back. Sorry.
We went back, but we can go forward because then we see this stuff. Now, this picture is what really got me, y'all. On this is for Light of the Jedi, the opening pages. There's additional art on the side of the page with the High Republic logo. There's more Aurebesh on it, and there's the character portrait of Avar Kriss. The other books have portraits, I believe, of Bell and then of Stellan, and they are the actual concept art that are in this like kind of glorious frame sequence. Like the designers just went crazy on
we
these
go.
books, and they look beautiful.
Yeah, these are definitely
Pretty rough.
like I wouldn't say one of a kind, but close to it. I mean, you can't get any more exclusive than these. If you have, are they selling them only in a set, or can you buy them individually?
I think so.
Well, what a great question, Wes, because how you buy these? Similar to the last book, these are only at the Celebration store. This is not at the Del Rey booth like past exclusives. These are only at the Celebration store. So you better believe I'm going to be sprinting there Thursday morning first thing. Because these are limited to 1,000. There's 1,000 of these. They are a 3-pack. You got to buy all 3. And these are going to run you $250. That's expensive for 3 books that I'm assuming if you listen to the show, you likely own already. But am I going to try to do it? Yeah. Because as Expired Milk says in the chat, you could also just pick up a set for $5 million on eBay once they're all. So
He's so right.
It's like a piece of art that you have displayed somewhere in your home. And
I don't think there is another Star Wars book that has Aurebesh on the outside of it. Like,
mm-mm.
this is brand spanking new.
At least not one that Jared didn't make for himself.
This-
I'm glad you landed safely, but I see you got a layover in Vegas. That's great. So yeah, these are both at the Celebration store. If you want these, you're gonna have to go quick. You're gonna have to get a lightning lane. There's gonna be ways to do it. Stay tuned in the app if you're at Celebration. At this point of recording, the app isn't working super great.
Oh,
Probably won't work super great when we're there, but
Good to
do what
know.
you can. And make sure you go to the store, not the booth, the store to get these.
okay.
Now, there are also exclusives at the Del Rey booth. There's going to be a lot of signings, and those tweets all went up this week. Any author you want to get signed from, honestly, the best way to find them is their Twitter profile. Kevin Scott, Justina Ireland, Charles Soule, Claudia Gray, Mike Chen, Adam Christopher. All these authors have put up their schedules on Twitter. If you're not on Twitter, it's honestly make an account for this week and just follow all the authors you want, because it's the best way to find where they're going to be and when. The only time to get all the High Republic authors at once, I know a lot of us want to do that, is going to be Friday at 4:30 at the Mysterious Galaxy booth. Again, that is Friday at 4:30 at the Mysterious Galaxy booth. All 5 original authors, Kevin Scott, Charles Soule, Claudia Gray, Daniel Jose Older, Justina Ireland, will be at that booth. So if you have one thing you want to get signed by all 5, that is the only time you can do it. Other than that, you can go to the Del Rey booth and get tickets each day that will allow you to buy, or to get, I believe, redeem. You don't have to buy this, a Shadow of the Sith poster that you can get signed by Adam Christopher, especially like that excerpt earlier. So show up early, get that little ticket like a wristband, redeem later for a poster, and all that information is found on the Del Rey Twitter, is found on the author Twitter. Unfortunately, we all got to use it, so that's the best place to get that. Now, fellas, shall we dive in to the meat and potatoes of Celebration, which are the main panels?
We shall.
Yes?
We shall.
So let's go around the horn. We're each going to tell you a little bit about the panels that you're going to see each day. We'll say what we're most excited for, and if you need to do anything special to get in. Some of these, it's too late. Sorry. Including this first one, Tim, kick us off. What is the first big panel of the entire week?
Yeah, so the first big panel happening Thursday morning is the Lucasfilm Studio Showcase. So this is going to happen at 11 a.m. and this is going to feature things like Andor, Ahsoka, pretty much every big project coming down the pike that you can think of. It's going to be on the Celebration stage. I believe it's going to be streamed to others as well. So let's see. The official description for it is Star Wars Celebration returns, launching with a must-see showcase that will kick the weekend's festivities into hyperdrive. Lucasfilm's current crop of live-action filmmakers will be joined by special guests to discuss the many Star Wars adventures coming soon, including Obi-Wan Kenobi, Andor, and The Mandalorian.
I mean, this is when we can say that all of us won the lottery to be in this panel.
Yeah.
Like, somehow all three of us are going to see it live.
Yeah, we're going to be there. And because it's the first one, there's got to be a big reveal to keep our momentum going. They don't want to, like,
you don't
show
leave,
you the
Wes,
stuff that we
so you don't
already know.
I'm going to go home. I'm done with this.
They don't want to show you the stuff that we already know. They got to keep, boost you up a little bit so you can stick around for a little bit while longer. But I don't know. And The Mandalorian, and then did we get a new Mandalorian
It's a lot.
trailer?
I mean, I'm thinking this one. My one big proclamation, I'll say. We don't like to speculate on this show, but come on. It's a convention in 3 days. Mm-hmm. Great. Awesome. So this panel, my big speculation is that we're going to get Andor footage. The first footage of Andor. It's coming out late summer, according to Vanity Fair. I think it makes sense to at least show 30 seconds something with that. I believe we could get. Ahsoka just started production last month. We're not getting footage. We're not getting footage from that. That's fine.
Okay.
So, if you want to watch this and you didn't get the lottery system, which again, it's over now. You didn't get it. That's okay. If you did, great. Whatever works. This panel, along with all the morning panels, will be streamed on StarWars.com. So if you're at home, you can see these. Or there will be overflow rooms that you may have already gotten lottery tickets for the smaller stages, the Galaxy stage, the Twin Sun stage, or you can go to the Star Wars show stage or whatever they're calling it this year, and that's where Anthony Carboni, Andy Gutierrez, Kristen Baver, Christina Ariel are hosting, and that's kind of where the standing room only folks, you can just kind of be and view it with other fans. So they want you to see this panel, and you can have plenty of space to do that. And I mean, we're going to lose our minds at 11 in the morning after being at Disneyland and after flying in. And we're starting off in a pretty big way. So excellent panel to kick us off. Mm-hmm. And then Wes, we also start the afternoon off in a pretty big panel for us at this show and in this community, right?
Well, I would think so. So seeing as we are a books and comics and novels and stories type of podcast about Star Wars, the next one, starting at 1 p.m. on Thursday, is the Lucasfilm Publishing Stories from a Galaxy Far, Far Away. So this is happening, like I said, 1 p.m. On the Twin Suns stage. So the official announcement for this is from adult novels to kids' comics, from the time of the High Republic to the rise of the First Order, this is the place to dive deeper into the stories from a galaxy far, far away. Seems like something I would write on the description. Featuring details on new and upcoming titles from Disney, Lucasfilm, Prez, Del Rey, Dark Horse, and more, including all new announcements and reveals from a galaxy far, far away, moderated by Lucasfilm's Michael Siglain and featuring E.K. Johnston, Kirsten White, Roseanne Brown, Sam Maggs, Delilah S. Dawson, Rodney Barnes, Amanda Dybert, Jen Heddle, and friend of the show, Kevin Scott.
There he is.
What a stacked group.
I mean, holy crap. Like, if there was one panel I want to see really for publishing and about maybe news about books that are coming out in the future, this is it. This is the one.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this really seems like the one for the new book releases that probably are not High Republic, to be clear. I know Kevin's there. He's worked on other non-High Republic stuff, obviously, but a lot of these writers, E.K. Johnston just finished up the Queen's trilogy. Kirsten White has Padawan. A lot of these authors are on the stories of Light and Dark. So it sounds like we're going to get a lot of cool announcements of new projects. So do we get more Clone Wars content? Maybe. Do we get more post-sequel content? Probably not, but, we'll see. But this is definitely a great one to be there for, to get these new announcements on books and comics in kind of a more general sense. In the Twin Sun stage, I do believe, fellas, that's the third biggest stage, correct? Third or fourth?
That sounds right.
I think so. And this is another similarly where you can line up to see this. There's no lottery system for this panel. You just got to kind of get there early, stake your claim a little early, or I believe in the morning at 9 a.m., you can log onto the app and try to get a Lightning Lane reservation for it in advance. So be ready for it. I mean, there's got to be some good reveals on that. But I got to say.
And Eric, what happens in the later of the afternoon?
This is the one for me, Wes, when you were saying, just one for publishing. It's this one. This next one is mine. Still on Thursday.
Still?
Thursday.
Still on Thursday.
Good God.
The High Republic for Light and Life. 3 p.m. Galaxy stage. The second biggest stage at Celebration. My gosh. And it says the following. Centuries before the Skywalker saga, there was the High Republic. Join moderator and the High Republic host, Christina Ariel, who we love, along with luminous authors Claudia Gray, Justina Ireland, Daniel Jose Older, Cavan Scott, and Charles Soule, along with Lucasfilm's James Woff and Michael Steglain, for an in-depth conversation about the golden age of the Jedi, including all new announcements and reveals from Phase 2 Quest of the Jedi. I feel like this is going to be like the High Republic show just stretched into an hour, where it's like interviews, fun stuff, recaps, great things. And then the last 5 minutes is like, guess what?
Cover.
Yeah. Okay, let's say it. Are we going to get covers for the entirety of the first wave of Phase 2 at Celebration?
I thought we already got the covers.
We got one.
We got one for the YA novel.
One cover. Single cover. Yeah, it's my lock screen. Still.
Well, I meant from the non. What is it? What is the
cover
collection?
Not final
Yeah, the cover not final collection.
You're right, Wes. You're right. We'll get the alternate covers here. That were different. Because Convergence by Zoraida Cordova, that's the next adult novel coming out. And then, of course, our buddy George Mann has his adventure YA, our middle grade novel coming out. And then the comics we still got to see. So
I'm really interested in seeing Zoraida Cordova's adult novel, because I really liked Crash of Fate. So I'm interested to read what she gets to do.
Yes, 10,000%. Crash of Fate. Again, it's like one of those books like Crash of Fate, Rebel Rising. Like, there's those books that every time someone brings them up, they're like, oh, yeah, love that book.
It floats just under the radar.
Yeah, but that one's going to blow my mind. It's also, been no secret to anyone that watches or listens to any of our shows on our network how much we love the High Republic. And to see all 5 of these folks in person and everyone in the room being there for the High Republic is just going to be, it's going to be something really special.
Oh, how did I forget that the Phase 2 is going to be before everything that we've read?
150 years before, right?
Something like that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh my gosh.
So that's a big one. So that brings us to the end of, well, not the end of Thursday. Obviously, there are other things, but those are kind of the main landmarks we get. And then Friday, we start off with the ILM panel. I didn't put it in our breakdown just because it's another main panel. If you've gotten a lottery, you have. If not, it's the same kind of deal as the Lucasfilm. You can watch it being streamed, and that's more about like the technology of ILM. But Tim, at 12:30, we are back at Twin Suns.
Oh, we are back at Twin Suns, and we are back talking publishing. So Lucasfilm Publishing, Behind the Page. This starts at 12:30 p.m. It says, explore the world of nonfiction, novelty, and behind-the-scenes books for fans of every age, featuring details on exciting new and upcoming titles from Abrams, DK, Insight Editions, and more. Hosted by Amy Ratcliffe, with special guest Ashley Eckstein. Did you hear that?
Woo!
Kelly Knox, one of my favorites.
Yeah.
Amy Richow, Jason Fry, Chris Kempshaw, Cole Horton, Phil Stozak, and Kristen Baver, including all new announcements and reveals from a galaxy far, far away. Holy moly, this panel.
The reveals. There's already so many.
That's what I came for. I came to be astonished by the reveals. That way I know about them immediately when they happen, and I can scream about them with my friends and fellow nerds in the area and not have to, keep it down in my desk at work while I'm
Yeah, we're
supposed
Slack
to be
and Discord or Twitter going,
plastic.
it's like, yeah! I'm so excited! Yeah, these are going to be amazing. Also, this is a great time to plug. If you haven't left yet and you're still packing, make sure you bring a poster tube, because a lot of these panels will probably give you like commemorative posters to like celebrate stuff. And if you want, if there are commemorative mini posters for publishing books, things, you're going to want them. We don't get a lot of posters for books, so you're going to want them if you can.
Yeah.
And guys, I gotta admit, I already made it. I made a mistake with this outline. I'm sorry about it. Expired milk. Thank you. Friday starts with freaking Obi-Wan, y'all. Like,
Oh,
the first
yeah.
two, like, that's gonna happen.
That
Hold
indie
on.
project you referred to earlier.
The very beginning of what Friday is.
The reason we exist right now.
Technically, midnight on Friday will be Obi-Wan, or 5 a.m. whenever you wake up. We'll be watching Obi-Wan, and I can reveal this now. I said it, but now I was specific. 10:40 a.m. is when I will be getting my photo with Ewan McGregor after watching the Obi-Wan show
Wow.
before going to Lucasfilm.
What
I'm not going to be
What are you gonna
in
say to
great
him?
shape.
What are you gonna say?
I want to say it, but it's slightly not family friendly. I'm gonna be like, I'll fudge it a little bit. I'm gonna be like, that's freaking Obi-Wan Kenobi. It's like based on his interview. I hope he likes it.
Yes.
I'm in the exact same boat, so yeah, I have nothing
Gonna
to
freak
say.
out. So yes, thank you. Kenobi Day. We will all obviously be watching it either at midnight or in the morning, or if you're like Tim, both.
Correct. Who needs
Stay
sleep?
hydrated. Stay. Bring
Me.
painkillers. Bring everything you're gonna need. So that's great. We get all the nonfiction stuff. Again, who knows if we'll get new reference book ideas? I know a lot of folks like Kelly, Amy, Kristen, like they write a bunch of that stuff. Jason Fry does a lot of the battle books. We could be getting a lot more announcements for the fall. I would love that. And then Wes, we dive a little into nostalgia at 2 p.m. back on the big boy stage.
Back on the big boy stage, this one at 2 p.m. is Attack of the Clones 20th celebration. So we had, what was it, our 20th anniversary not too long ago?
Yep. Phantom Menace 3 years. Oh yeah, 3 years ago was Phantom Menace 20th, right? Yeah.
It has
Yes.
to be.
And then it was
Yes.
the 40 a few years ago. Yeah. A lot of
Wow.
anniversaries.
Okay. So it's on the celebration stage, and the official announcement is the shroud of the dark side has fallen. The Clone Wars, they have become. Join us as we celebrate the 20th anniversary of Star Wars, Attack of the Clones. Oh, hello, it's right there. I could have said it. Attack of the Clones, the movie that not only introduced a lightsaber-wielding Yoda, a coming-of-age Anakin Skywalker, and clones, it also ushered in a new era of digital cinema, which 2 decades later has become an industry standard. Special guests and behind-the-scenes content will be revealed in this can't-miss commemoration of the 2002 epic. And this automatically cements I'll be wearing the Attack of the Clones 20th anniversary shirt that I purchased for Friday. So that's what I will
decision.
be. That's what I will be dressed up in.
Excellent
If you're
decision.
looking for me, I'm sure
Guys.
100,000 people are wearing the same thing. But I can't wait to watch this because this was my favorite movie for a long time. Just because I love all of the Jedi and the fighting inside of the pit over there on Geonos. It was great.
Yeah. I mean, there's so many possibilities with this. Obviously, the Phantom Menace panel was so great back in 2019. Watching that stream with Ahmed Best coming out and the warm reception there, and like all that stuff was so amazing. I am not responsible for the feral being I will become if Natalie Portman shows up at this panel. I don't think it's happening. I don't think it's happening. To be clear, that being said, I think it was Sky Talkers I was listening to this past weekend, and they made a great point. Anaheim is hella close to Hollywood.
It's an hour from
Right.
Hollywood.
So, like, Orlando is pretty far. Chicago is pretty far. If they're like, hey, listen, it's 1 hour. Just come over. Then you can go home. You don't have to do anything. Like, it's possible. I don't think it'll happen. But that being said, Wes, I'm actually with you on that. When I was younger, I freaking loved Attack of the Clones. That Yoda lightsaber moment is still one of the formative moments of my life.
Spoiler alert. Sorry, everybody.
Yeah, right. To Jared's point in the chat, will Ewan be at the Attack of the Clones panel? I don't know. I think it opens the door for sure. I think that's what's so fun about this one. All these other ones, we got the guests, we kind of got the layout. This is kind of
it's a little vague, right? Yeah.
Who knows? I think it's fun, and because it's Celebration Stage, it's not a lottery panel, but it also will be absolutely packed. So if you want to be at this panel, I would recommend. I mean, let's be real. People are going to be lining up first thing in the morning all day for this panel. If that's something you want to do, that's great. There will also be overflow rooms streaming it. I will probably be watching it. I mean, unless I get super lucky, I'm assuming I'll be at the Star Wars stage watching this. I can't imagine I'm going to be able to get into one of these rooms. But what about you guys? Is this one that you want to maybe wait in line for? Are you gonna prioritize this, or is it going to be, cross your fingers, the force is with you if you get in?
Yeah, this is going to be I'll cross my toes and hope to die kind of thing. So
Fair.
I don't know that I'll stand in line at 6 a.m. for this, but I don't see that. I haven't got the feel for it. Obviously, I'm not there, but when we get there and people start standing in line at 6 a.m. and then I'll ask them, hey, was it worth it? And they tell me absolutely it was. I might be in line the next day at 6 a.m.
That's fair. Because when else? Like Celebration.
Yeah.
We're still not sure how often they're going to do it. I think every other year probably makes sense, but it's been 3 years. This is such a homecoming event that I think a lot of us, the adrenaline is going to be pretty high for that. So after that, Attack of the Clones, a couple other things that are smaller that I just want to mention before our next big panel. And I believe 3 o'clock outside the convention center, 3 or 3:30, there's going to be a High Republic cosplay meetup. This has been talked about by a lot of the authors and about Michael Seglain. All 5 of the Luminous authors are going to be outside kind of gathering with the High Republic cosplayers. So if you have a High Republic cosplay you're wearing a Celebration, make sure you find this crew, because there's going to be a costume contest, and the winner of it gets a 3-pack of those books from the Celebration store.
Oh,
so cool.
It is a solid prize. And of course, I'm sure there's going to be a giant group picture with all the authors. And even, I'm not going to be wearing High Republic cosplay to this. I'll probably be wearing my High Republic shirt at this point. But I can't wait to take a picture of all these folks and just see all of your creativity. I'm so ready to be blown away by it. And then directly after that, almost at 4:30 at the Mysterious Galaxy booth, that is where you can get all 5 of the Luminous folks to sign things. So I'm assuming it might be like a go outside, do that whole thing, and then come inside with them, go straight to the booth, get those signatures. And then I know a lot of us, or some of us, might be going to Disneyland after dark for Star Wars night right after that. That's Friday evening. I'm not going to sleep, guys. I'm really worried. That goes till 1 in the morning. And
Whoa.
But if you're not going to Disney, or you choose whatever the case may be, if you're still at the convention center at 6:30 p.m., on the Twin Sun stage, we get Behind the Audiobook, making an audio original Star Wars adventure, which says, get the inside scoop on how Star Wars audiobook originals, including Dr. Aphra and Tempest Runner, 2 of our favorites here, are brought to life from conception to recording, moderated by Penguin Random House Audio executive producer Nick Martorelli. I do believe I saw Mark Thompson will be there as well. Voice of the genre. It'll be so fun to see him there and some other folks. Wes, I know you especially. I know, Tim, you're also in the audiobook game. Like, I don't listen to as many audiobooks, but I feel like for folks like you that really sink your teeth into this is going to be pretty freaking cool.
Yeah,
how they do it.
was trying to decide if I wanted to buy baseball tickets, but I might not. Because yeah, this is right up my alley. And to get a chance, I mean, y'all have interviewed Mark Thompson plenty of times, and just to see his love for Star Wars and his work, like the way that it radiates off of him, to get to see him in a panel talking about it, and the crew that builds these, I mean, grand productions, I mean,
Right.
sound effects and
Yeah.
soundtracks. Like, I would love to get that inside scoop on how that just the brilliance of trying to get all these folks to coordinate how that happens. Like,
Right.
that's really cool.
And some of
Yeah.
the voices that Mark Thompson does, where it doesn't,
Mhm.
you think there's no way that's
Insane.
Mark Thompson. It's like
Yeah.
totally him. And he does like this, and it's the way he describes things. He doesn't just talk it out. He makes you feel it as he's saying it. He's so good at it. I hope he gives us like kind of maybe like a little example or something of some new stuff that he may be working on, of maybe some older titles that we haven't got.
Ooh.
You know, that would be interesting.
Get me
Or
going, Wes. You
Yeah.
say these things.
yeah, or we could get maybe Jonathan Davis shows up just out of nowhere, and you're like, oh,
That'd be cool.
hey,
I wouldn't hate it.
hey. Yeah.
What if they announce a new project here? You think they would do that? A new audio
A
drama?
new audio drama? I think is possible.
I think it's
definitely
very
think that's possible.
Very
yeah.
possible. Or they could just say,
Yeah.
we have something in the works. And everybody's
Mhm.
like, boo, tell us what it is. And then
Yeah,
they
no,
tell
that'd be
us.
great. I mean, it'd be amazing. We'll see what pops up. But what a great way to end Friday, and what a great way to put audio also on this level, because I think that a lot of times
Yeah.
we think the novels, the books, and then we forget how important that is to us.
Especially
But
now,
of course-
it's been gaining like traction, like
Oh,
hotcakes,
hell
just
yeah.
because everybody's
Mhm.
consuming. They're at home now. They're able to realize you can consume audiobooks while you do other things, so you can
Yeah.
learn as well as be entertained while you're, doing stuff around the house, cooking, doing the laundry, mowing the
Mowing
yard,
lawn,
everything.
driving to work. Yeah, it's amazing. And then of course we get to Saturday. Pretty cool stuff on Saturday. It does start though in an Obi-Wan fashion. Me and my lovely partner Charlie got lucky enough to get in a queue at the right time to buy tickets to go have breakfast with Ashley Eckstein and Matt Lanter. So that's my day is 8 a.m. We get to hang out with them with a bunch of group of folks for like an hour and a half. Just to eat probably the only full breakfast I'm going to have this entire weekend. I'll be honest with you. But yeah, we get to hang out with
Actual
Ashley and
food.
Matt.
Yeah.
Talk some Clone Wars, get like a shirt. There's like a selfie thing that's going to happen. So that's how my Saturday starts. I'm never going to stop freaking out this entire weekend.
All right, Eric.
But then most importantly, more importantly than all that, why we're all really there on Saturday, Tim, the biggest panel of Saturday.
The
What
biggest,
is it?
the only
Biggest.
reason Celebration exists.
That's it.
I mean, honest to God. Here's the thing. Exploring the universe, the books and comics of Star Wars. Who did they call to do this panel? I believe they called your friends at Utini to do this panel. 10:30 a.m., the fan stage. Eric, what's going to happen there? What are y'all talking about?
So
I mean, I'm
this-
imagining books and comics of Star Wars, right?
It's really well named. I'm not going to lie to you. It's really well named. This panel will feature myself, Dr. Corey Helton, our friend Emma Park, and Freddie Contreras. So we got all the live shows represented on this panel. And we're going to take you as an audience through kind of the beginnings of the books and comics of Star Wars way back in the 70s all the way through the modern day. And it's kind of just like a crash course of what we've gone through as a community. What books have started the whole thing? What were the big benchmarks? When did Star Wars shift? And we have all these really, really fun anecdotes. And I got to say, we have, slides and visual aids. Corey, he's not on the show, so I can talk about him. Corey, he's not going to watch this. Corey outdid himself on the design of these slides. Visually, I've always been so proud of what we do here at Utini. Like all of the graphic design, from the website to the shows to the emails to the videos, everything. It's not something that I know how to do, so I'm blown away by everyone that does work here. These graphics that we have are just so fun and so interesting, and I really do hope that if you have some free time on your Saturday morning, you just come out to the fan stage. We are just going to have a great time celebrating like we do on this show every week, like we do in our community every day, top to bottom, the history of Star Wars books. And it really ends with a look toward the future. A great question already from Expired Milk. Will our panel be available in podcast form after? We are absolutely doing everything we can to record video and audio. We use, they set up mics and they set up audio equipment for us for the live panel itself. We are bringing a lot of equipment to Celebration for a bunch of projects, but we do hope we will record this. So regardless, we're going to put this on the channel afterwards, and we hope you enjoy it. It is a very emotional, very proud moment for all of us to be able to do this. And I'll say it hopefully on the day. I am literally skipping one of my best friends' weddings to go to host this panel. It's on the same day. I'm not saying that's why you should come, but I'm just saying I'm putting a lot on the line for this panel. So can't wait. It's 10:30 a.m. at the fan stage.
Been a long debate for poor Eric here. It's been
it's not easy.
It's been keeping him back for months. Hope he hears this.
Yes. Yes. Thank you. Yeah, I really put that in. But if for some reason you decided to put in a lottery entry during our panel, which is fine, or you're deciding that I don't know if I want to go see the Utini panel, that's fine. It's okay. Wes, what can folks do right around that time that's probably going to be a little bit of a crowd draw away from us?
If you're bored, there is another panel around that time that's it starts 30 minutes after the Utini panel, so of course you can come in the beginning and you could just meander off. But at 11 a.m., Mando, a conversation with Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni, if you want to see a kind of thing like that. So, in their first appearance at Star Wars Celebration since the premiere of The Mandalorian, join Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni with special guests for a look back and a look ahead at what's to come. Damn it, could it not have been scheduled at a worse time? But it sounds amazing. I think that one is going to be full. Absolutely. People want to hear from Jon Favreau. People want to hear from Dave Filoni. Hopefully he's rocking his cowboy hat. It's going to be something that you can't really miss this one.
No, I mean, you guys, you know what's crazy? The last Star Wars Celebration, we saw concept art of Mandalorian. And like the first footage ever. And now we've got 2 full seasons and Boba under our belts. I mean, guys, amazing. Last Celebration, Gina Carano had a job. Like, that's how long ago this was.
Eesh.
All right, I did. Only one. Yeah, I mean, we know we're getting Mando season 3, I think this winter. And come on, it's Favreau and Filoni, and they're gonna be like, hey, how's it feel to have like a multi-Emmy nominated show for Star Wars that is now set off the next probably, let's be real, 10 to 20 years of content? Like,
yeah, not just Star Wars. I mean, like TV shows in general. People are like, wow, look what The Mandalorian has done for streaming services. I mean, Disney Plus just blew through the roof with subscriptions, I'm sure, just from the trailers alone.
Yeah, and I want to be, like, in all seriousness, very earnest when I say this. Like, we are so beyond honored to have a panel celebration. I can't wait. I do think it's gonna be very good. I feel good about it. We had some practice runs. If you love what we do, but you want to go see the Mandalorian panel, it's okay. Like, in all seriousness, it's why we're recording it. Mm-hmm. It will be around. Please, at any other time, you can still come say hi. We won't be mad. It's the freaking Mandalorian, okay? It's okay. No, if you want to come, we're not going to shoo you away. Don't get me wrong, but just, it's going to be all right. Very excited to hear about this afterwards, to get out of our panel and race to the overflow and catch the second half of it, of course. So it's going to be great. But then, actually, speaking of TV shows, another thing that I'm actually quite excited for that got leaked kind of early accidentally with like cast merch and stuff, is the official reveal of Tales of the Jedi, which will be at the Celebration stage at 2:30 p.m. That will introduce Tales of the Jedi, another series of animated anthology shorts. That is horrible to say out loud. Hosted by one of our favorites, Amy Ratcliffe, with special guest Dave Filoni. He's got a bigger day on Saturday. This is so exciting because, y'all, I got no idea what it'll be. Jared, you're right in the chat. Eggs are coon or we riot.
Animated
for those of you that may
form?
not know, Tales of the Jedi has been used multiple times in Star Wars in the past for projects. Exar Kun was in a comic series about it. But this is just, I mean, animated anthology. Visions did a kind of similar thing, but they've really just decided we're going to make something. It'll be animated. That's all we got right now.
We're gonna watch it.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Yeah. I'm quite excited for this. This is probably, because we're gonna miss Mando, and obviously I'm working one of them. This is probably my most anticipated just regular Saturday panel. I'm always excited for new Star Wars animation. I think they really are breaking a lot of boundaries of what they can do with every single show. And with Visions being rumored to come back for a second season, I think it's going to be fun that they're doing another anthology project in addition. Like, they really believe in this art form.
And we've read all of the, not all of them, but most of these panels here. I'm thinking there's got to be a reveal. There's got to be a reveal this way. There's got to be a reveal with concept art. Or there's got to be like characters provided, or even just other titles to like stories that are going to be within Tales of the Jedi or something. So I feel like they have to give us something for every single panel. And if we don't get it, it's fine. I'm not going to be disappointed. I'll be at Celebration.
Yeah. You know what they need to give me? A mini poster. All of them. Mini poster or I riot. When we go from something brand new to Timothy, your new role on the Cosmic Force every Wednesday night, of course, throughout the summer, kind of leads you really well into our next panel, which is, I mean, we're talking about big reveals. There's never a shortage of big reveals at this type of panel.
Yeah, absolutely not. 4:30 p.m. on Saturday. We're going to get the Marvel Star Wars comics panel on the Twin Sun stage. The description reads as follows. I am so excited. Make mine Star Wars and make mine Marvel. Join Marvel editor-in-chief C.B. Cebulski, what a Star Wars name, and some of Marvel's top talent such as Charles Soule, Alyssa Wong, Kevin Scott, Rodney Barnes, Christopher Cantwell, Ethan Sachs, and Jody Hauser for a comics conversation unlike any other, including all new announcements and reveals from a galaxy far, far away. This is probably my most anticipated like non-huge panel because every comic that has been coming out has been nothing but fire. And especially like filling in on the Cosmic Force over the summer, getting to talk more in depth about a lot of these projects. Just looking at this roster of names, knowing we have some High Republic comics that are coming down the pike, especially from Charles Soule, and his new title is creative lead or whatever it is that he's doing.
Yeah, he's like working on, what is he? Yeah, he's like one of the story builders, the founders of all comic Star Wars going forward.
Yeah, I mean, these are all powerhouses. Jody Hauser, I haven't seen her name pop up in a long time, and I am very stoked to get her back into this. So bring it on. I mean, the fact that it's Marvel having a full panel just absolutely blows my mind.
Yeah, absolutely can't wait for that. It's going to be later on, like you said, in the afternoon on Saturday. And then we get another brief conflict, which is okay, but it's still a phenomenal panel, which we could not have planned for, but it's absolutely going to be excited, and I hope that someone is going to get me a mini poster from this panel. Quite literally, please someone bring me a poster from this. Wes, what is the next panel that a lot of us are unfortunately going to have to miss, even though it is tailor-made for what we do as a company?
The next panel, starting at 6 p.m., which is also the same time as Utini Celebration, it is Del Rey's Behind the Scenes. So that takes place on the Twin Sun stage and joins Star Wars authors and book editors, the ones that we talk about every single week, ones that we praise every single week for an in-depth conversation about 3 of the most anticipated Star Wars stories coming in 2022. Brotherhood, phenomenal, by the way. I'm almost done with it. Shadow of the Sith, and The Princess and the Scoundrel. From the prequels to the original trilogy to the sequel era, there are Star Wars books from Lucasfilm and Del Rey for everyone. This panel is not one to be missed, but moderated by Del Rey senior editor Tom Holler.
Friend of the show.
We know Tom.
Tom's a phenomenal moderator. Whether it's small interviews, whether it's big panels, he's got questions out the wazoo. He's been really kind of pushing all the question ideas he's had over on Twitter. And with Mike Chen and with Adam Christopher going on, and with Beth Revis all on the same panel, we're all going to be kind of loopy Saturday night by that point. Who knows what's going to come out of that panel? They seem like they're all going to have a really great time. And I am, like you said, Wes, I'm so bummed to be missing this one, but I can't wait to hear what all happens. I'll be following coverage. We will have some Utini folks at this panel covering it. All of these panels, we will have at least someone on our main social feeds. Make sure you're following Utini_US over on Twitter. We will be tweeting out reveals, fun questions, all those kind of things throughout the weekend. This one just seems so fun. And I guess I didn't realize till you read that with Brotherhood being the prequel book, Shadow of Sith being the sequel book, and Princess and Scoundrel being the OT, they're really hitting all of them in the same year. I completely missed that. Completely missed it.
Yeah, completely flew off of my radar as well. That's really, really cool that it worked out that way. And the fact that, they're all adult novels too. That's really exciting. It's really, really exciting.
Adult romance novels. Hold on. Maybe not that phrasing. Romance novels that adults can read still sounds bad. You know what I mean? We're giving that the respect it's due. But of course, a lot of us will be busy at that point because we will be at the Utini Celebration, our official celebration party, which will be on Saturday, May 28th from 6 to 9 p.m. at Steelcraft Garden Grove. It's just a little bit away from the convention center. You can do like a longish walk or like a quick Uber over there if you want. There's going to be entertainment with a lot of us doing some live podcast stuff if we're able to. There's going to be drink options, food options. There's basically how it's set up. There's just a lot of different kind of vendors there where you can kind of make your own meal as you want, hang out, chat with us. We'll have folks from all of our shows, the behind the scenes folks. Do you want to see who makes the timeline? Of course you do. Come hang out with a lot of Utini folks and fans. We already have a good amount of people RSVP'd for the event. There's parking around. It'll be a great fun time. And of course, we're all going to be freaking out about all the things that have been revealed at Celebration up till that point. We're throwing a party. It's going to be great. And it ends at a respectable hour. So if you want to go to sleep, you can go to bed.
And there's going to be food. Thank God.
Yes.
Because if one thing that I hate when going to a brewery that they don't have food. And so,
a pub what serves food. So that's for like 4 of you. Very excited for that. That is also during that night. If you're not coming to our party, that's okay. I know some folks are going to Mosh Isley, which is like the emo night party that's happening. A lot of parties going on. And if any of these nights you want to go to a party that's not like an official fan event outside, head over to the hotels that are like across the street from the convention center. There's always something at the Hilton or the Marriott. Just hang out. You can have a good time. Which, of course, brings us to Sunday, the last day. Of course, we have big things like the final celebration, the final events. There's not a bunch of cross-programming near the end, so you can just kind of enjoy that. But also on Sunday at 11 a.m., there is the final big giant panel, which is the Bad Batch Season 2. 11 a.m. at the celebration stage. Again, flooding over into the other stages to stream. And it says the following. Strap in, kid. You're not going to want to miss this view. I went into the voice like the second half of the line. Didn't really work.
You did good.
Thanks, man. Join host David Collins as he invites Star Wars The Bad Batch executive producer and supervising director Brad Rao, executive producer and head writer Jen Corbett, story editor Matt Mishnevitz, actors D. Bradley Baker and Michelle Ong to discuss highlights from the first season of the acclaimed series, as well as some exciting hints of what's to come in Season 2. Obviously a huge one. We all loved The Bad Batch quite a lot. I think it ended super solidly. Our bounty hunt episodes, especially for those final couple, were really just us loving the show. We really loved where it went. I loved how the characters evolved. The animation was breathtaking. And the fact that they're doing it again, I mean, come on. This is why we go to Celebration. This is the more Star Wars. It's just going to be great.
Yeah, I was surprised that they decided to do Bad Batch Season 2 again and so quickly. But I just remember some of those like animated scenes where it's basically like you are behind the mask of one of the Bad Batch, and you kind of meander through the hallways, and it's basically like a producer following you with one of those gimbal cameras. It's just, the animation is so amazing with what they can do these days. And I mean, that was just like 6-7 months ago. Right. And so the technology's obsolete now that they use. So what do they have now, right? So it's going to be crazy to see.
We're going to watch it in VR, all of us. We're going to be inside Echo's helmet. Yeah, it's going to be something special. And of course, that Sunday, it's going to be the day you go, and anything you wanted to buy that you didn't, go to the con floor, go make sure you catch up with everyone you have to. Some folks fly out that day. I know, Wes, you're flying out on Sunday. Some folks fly out Sunday night. There's just tons of stuff to kind of finish up. And of course, there are so many other panels happening, and so many other events that we didn't talk about. Tonight, we just wanted to hit, obviously, some of the main giant ones and a lot of the publishing exclusive ones. All these panels, someone from Utini will be there. So make sure you're following us at Utini_US on Twitter. On Instagram, we're going to be updating as we can. We're going to be just taking a bunch of footage, and once we get back, of course, we're going to be editing that as best we can to kind of keep you all updated. But that's the best way to do it. If we do our personal coverage, if some of us get in there, we will let you all know. I know I said it at the beginning for the authors, but it really is true. Follow your favorite creators on Twitter. That's where we're going to be updating everything and where we're going to be. Speaking of which, Tim, tell the folks where they can find us. Not all at the same time. We're going to be moving around, of course, all weekend, but generally, where are the Utini things? What can we get?
Yes, there will always be a Utini presence in the fan section. We have a booth this year as well, which I know we've talked about before. We will be booth number 2686. And we're going to have so many fun things there. We've got all kinds of stickers and pins and bookmarks and incredibly nice people like Wes. He will pop in every now and then. Listen, I don't think y'all understand how many things we have to give away. Corey has shipped literal boxes, like thousands of stickers and bookmarks and pins. Super excited to give them away. If you want some free Utini swag, definitely drop by. Someone will be there. The entirety that like the convention center is open, we will be there essentially.
Yeah.
So,
and we will be roaming as well. I know I'm going to try to take a picture of myself every morning because I'm vain. But also just like the outfit that I'm wearing, because I know we'll all be masked up. Which is great. But we'll be doing stuff, make sure to come say hi, find us anytime you want to see us. Even if I'm going to a giant panel, walk with me. Do a Sorkin walk and talk. Let's hang. Let's say hi. Would love to see you. If I'm stealing this from Sky Talkers, if you have a Twitter name that we've talked in I don't know your actual name, tell me that so I can make sure that like, oh, you're that. And if we have stickers or pins on us, we would love to trade, give them to you. We want to spread everything we got, and God, Corey does not want to take any of those stickers home. Let's be clear. So
yes,
we hand those out like wildfire.
I will be instantly hurt if I see a sticker or a bookmark or a pin on the damn floor. So if you're walking by and you see it on the floor, pick it up.
We'll get it DNA tested and we'll find you.
We're gonna know
we'll come
who
to
it
your
was.
house.
So fellas, as we wrap up our final show before Celebration, which I know I said this earlier, but it is kind of super special this year because this convention quite literally changed this company forever. The reason we do any of this social recorded content, which is what I'll call podcasts or live video or anything like that, and the reason that all of us actually got to get used to chatting with each other more so than just on Slack channels and things is because of Celebration. So going back is kind of going back to the place that spawned some of the greatest friendships in my life and some of the greatest content we've ever made in this community and all these great things. as we go to this place in a couple days or tomorrow, whatever it may be, Wes, make sure you pack after this. What?
It's a little early.
Okay, eventually. You don't need to sleep. You'll be fine. What panel or what thing did we talk about are you most excited for? We'll say Utini exempt. Obviously, we love to see ourselves. We love to see our community. I'm very excited. All the other things. What's really catching your eye? And we'll try not to repeat. Tim, I'm going to put you on the spot.
Yeah, I'm
You're
gonna
new.
say I'm gonna say the Marvel Comics panel. I think there are so many incredible projects that are on the docket. And I hope to get some teases of what's to come. I hope to see some art of my boy Porter Engel, the Blade of Bardota.
Hey.
Yes, sir.
I gotta get it. So I'm very excited to hear the creatives talk about everything that they're working on and how it's all going to connect together. I know we've got the last finale of the Crimson Saga that's essentially happening in Marvel Comics right now. So I'm hoping to get some of that too.
Love it. Wes, how about you, man?
I'm going to be easy and say the Lucasfilm Studio Showcase because I want to know about the new stuff that's coming soon. And hopefully, like you said, Eric, we get an Andor trailer that gives us at least 30 seconds of what they've been working on for so long. So, I mean, now all I can think of is either that or Natalie Portman showing up at the 20th anniversary thing. That's like, no way. Yeah. It's not going to happen, but it might.
I want the Andor trailer to be 30 seconds of nothing but Bail Organa for Eric.
Tim?
I'm just saying.
All right. I'm composing because I every time I talk about that, I swear it's like the silence in Doctor Who. I remember Bill Organa might be in that show, and then I go away and I immediately forget that might be possible. Yeah, I mean that was gonna be mine as well, but I will also say that the High Republic panel on Thursday is just kind of the culmination of what has actually changed my life completely about publishing for years. I mean, this High Republic era, I mean, it's my freaking wall is designed around it. Like so much of what I love about Star Wars now is about this initiative, and to see these 5 folks who I love so much as people as well. They're such good folks. And to see Christina Ariel in person moderating, who's also an amazing person, an amazing host, and all these creatives, it's just going to be so much fun to see that and to really kind of, I love the art. We're gonna get covers. We're gonna get characters. It's just gonna be so great to be amongst that crew. And I will say continuously, the High Republic Twitter community, the High Republic book community is the most positive place in all of Star Wars fandom. Period. And it is gonna be so great to be amongst those folks. So yeah, I think that's me. Like we said a million times, if you see us throughout the weekend, please come say hi. Whether that be in the convention, whether that be at an after-hours event, whether that be in Disneyland on Wednesday. There will be a bunch of us Utini folks probably hanging together. I mean, Tim, you and your lovely wife and me and Charlie have a Oga's reservation together. So come say hi to us, Come, we'll be at Galaxy's Edge, we'll be in Fantasyland. It's going to be just the best week. I also need to pack. Tim, you need to pack again and again.
I'm gonna repack 3 times. Don't worry.
Yeah, and Wes, I don't know, watch a movie and then think about packing. It's going to be great. To all of you that watched, I hope we allayed some worry or got you even more excited. To all of our audio listeners, you already know what's happened in some of these panels. We can't wait because next week, those of us that are back on solid ground are going to be back and we're going to decompress and talk about all of it. I know I am flying in that Monday afternoon. I'll do a podcast, 4 hours after landing in Chicago. And that'll be next week. I can't imagine what me now will think about me then. We'll have lived so much life. We'll know about Obi-Wan. It's going to be great.
That's right.
Whew.
I keep forgetting we're getting Obi-Wan on Friday.
There's so much content. There's so much amazing content. We're going to get it all. I need to sleep already, but I won't. I can't wait to see you fine gentlemen in like 24-ish hours or so. It's going to be so much fun. I'll see you in Disney. I'll see the rest of you in Anaheim, or I'll see you next week for this show because, my friends, that will do it for this week's episode of The Living Force. You support us on Patreon. Thank you so much. You are the reason we're able to do everything that we love. Go ahead and go over to utini.com/Patreon to join the family. A special thank you to OK Endar, Brian Dooley, Patrick Ortiz, Earl Q, and Carl Sander on our Jedi High Council, and Elizabeth Cloutier, Freddie C, and Sally and Chris Eilerson on our Alliance High Command. You can find us on Twitter. I'm at Eric Eilerson. Wes is at Boss Wes. Timothy is at TC Guthrie 2. And I guess Corey is at Corey M. Helton, and Charles is at C. Hankel. A special thank you to Matt Davenport, our amazing editor, Ryan, our graphic designer extraordinaire, and Wes, our producer and community manager. Thank you to Wes and Tim for potting with me tonight. Thanks to all of you for watching and listening. I will see you on ground in Anaheim. And as always, may the force be with you.